What's going on, traders? It's going to be a quick video. Just want to give you guys an update on my thoughts on the overall market. So before we start, like, subscribe, comment your thoughts below. Let's get into the video. So first things first, crushed it once again in the Discord. Went 3-0 today. We ended up taking profit on those MSTR puts that we talked about in the last video at 5.90. So congratulations to Discord members on that. Today we jumped into Amazon calls. We jumped in at around 3.50 October 17 225 strike calls. We ended up trimming some profit at 4.10 and ultimately ended up closing those trades at around 4.55. We also jumped into 230 strike calls and ended up taking profit on those as well. So congratulations on Discord members with that. Our biggest play of the day, we jumped into ARM 200 strike calls for October 24th at 1.62. We ended up, I let Discord members know to start taking some profit prior to close. So here's a screenshot right here. Here's my screenshot right here. And ARM just absolutely went insane. I told everyone that I'm expecting ARM to pump all the way to 167 before close. No promises there. And that's exactly what we got, and ended the day with ARM. We jumped in again at 1.6, ended up taking profit at around 3.53. Here's my gains right here. So if you want access to plays like this, Discord link will be in the description below. Once again, congratulations to Discord members. So let's look at the charts. All right. So in our last video, I gave you guys a price target of 615 when it comes to the triple Qs, and it looks like we're well on our way to that target, right? And the question is, what happens once we reach that target? Well, the issue is, like I explained in the last video, is at some point in time, okay, at some point in time, I can't tell you when, we're eventually going to need to retest the 21 MA at around 597, 600 more or less. Now, interesting enough, tomorrow at around 8:30 Eastern time, Jerome Powell does speak, right before open, right 1 hour before open. So that's something you want to pay attention to. I don't know what he's going to say. I don't know if he's going to be hawkish or anything like that, but this is something you want to pay attention to. Hopefully you're not too heavy into any positions heading into tomorrow, because it can go really either way. And I think at this point, the market is going to find any reason to get a quick sell-off, right? And does this mean that I'm expecting a correction or anything like that? No, I don't think that's the case still. I think this is going to simply be another dip buying opportunity, and then we do it all over again. We pump back towards the upside all over again. So like I said before, like I keep saying, at some point in time, we're going to need to retest the 21 MA at around 597, 600 on the triple Qs. We look at the SPY. Same thing, right? At some point in time, we're going to need to retest that 662, 663 range, right, with the 21 MA, right? Every time we retest the 21 MA, even if we get a little bit below it, we pump back towards the upside. We retested it here, pump back towards the upside, retest, pump, so on and so forth. So again, at some point in time, we will need to retest this. Does this mean I think the market or the bubble is popped? No, I think it's just going to be a simple dip buy, and then we're doing it all over again, guys. So for now, my short-term target for the SPY is about 675. I mean, we're not far from there, so that's not really saying much. And my target for the triple Qs is 615. And like I said in the last video, guys, all right, despite what dip we have in the market, we're not breaking any key levels. Like I explained in the last video, 602, we still ended up holding 602 despite the dip we had yesterday, right? SPY, you still held your key level of 668, 667, right here. Nothing happened, right? Bears just could not take advantage of this dip buying opportunity, not dip buying opportunity, but this drop, right? And so bulls continue to step in every time we dip in this market. So the best thing you can do is just trade the trend, right? Trade the upside, take profit when you can, see green, take green, and do it all over again. Until we start breaking those key levels, like I said before, there's no reason to panic. Your key levels when it comes to the SPY is 667. You break below 667, at that point, I do believe you're going to start heading towards the 21 MA at around 662. You break below 602 on the triple Qs, at that point in time, I do believe you're going to start heading towards the 21 MA at around 597, possibly even lower than that, a little bit lower than that, all right? Because we do see pretty often that the triple Qs, once it hits the 21 MA, it does get a little bit below it, and then bulls step in and we pump right back towards the upside. So that's what I'm looking at for the triple Qs and the SPY. Nothing too crazy there. Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin, pretty much the same thing as the SPY and the triple Qs, right? At some point in time, I can't tell you when, we're going to need to retest 118K. Okay, 118K. I don't know when. Maybe it's tomorrow, maybe it's Friday, maybe it's the next week. I don't know. But at some point in time, we will need to retest this level, this double bottom neckline right here at around 118K. So that is something you want to pay attention to. That is something you want to look out for when it comes to Bitcoin. Regardless of the retest or not, I'm still pretty bullish on Bitcoin. I don't see a reason to go full-blown bearish. I don't see a reason to go full-blown bearish on the market at all, but it's very much possible that we can head much lower depending on how things go within the next few weeks. My thoughts is that once the government opens, I think it's going to be a sell the news type of event. That's what I think. I could be wrong. I don't know. But as long as the government is shut down, no news is good news. This is the same thing I told Discord members. No news is good news. So as long as the government is shut down, I think we're fine. I think we're safe. We're going to get dips along the way, maybe even a slight correction. But overall, I don't think anything bad or crazy is going to happen until the government opens up and we start getting those jobs data all over again. So something to think about. It's nothing guaranteed. It's just something to think about. All right. And so let's look at a few stocks. So Tesla, right? So when we look at the 4-hour time frame, we still have this head and shoulders pattern. Someone in my last video said the neckline is wrong. That's completely wrong. I don't know what he was talking about. When it comes to necklines, I mean, you can look this up on Schwab.com. You can look this up on Investopedia. I mean, even TradingView confirms that this is a neckline. I mean, that this is a head and shoulders pattern. The neckline is here. 414 is your key level. When it comes to necklines, right? Your neckline is supposed to start at the first pivot point before the head and the last pivot point after the head. So you have your first pivot point here and your second pivot point here, right where these wicks are. Hopefully you guys can see these wicks. So your neckline for Tesla is at 414 right at the 21 MA. What that guy was talking about, I don't know. All right. And if we manage to break below this, the 21 MA and 414 on Tesla, at that point, I do believe we're going to start seeing some pretty crazy levels. Lowest I'm looking at, well, short term, the lowest I'm looking at is 400. Intermediate to long term, you're talking about a move all the way towards the 360s. All right. Am I guaranteeing that 360 is going to happen with Tesla? No. But like I said in the last video, every event Tesla has been a buy the rumor, sell the news event, right? Every event so far. So at some point in time, I do believe at minimum we need to retest this 363s, 364 level when it comes to Tesla. And crazy enough, the head and shoulders pattern projected move is all the way down here at 364. Right? And don't take my word for it. If you don't believe the neckline is here, by all means, I just gave you websites that tell you how to draw a neckline for the head and shoulders pattern. I've been drawing these patterns for about 12 years. I've been trading for 12 years. I've been looking at charts for 12 years. Hey, my pattern game is on point. I don't know what to tell you, all right? So it is what it is. But at the end of the day, your neckline is 414. Even if you don't believe this is a neckline, regardless, 414 is a very, very pivotal level. As long as Tesla stays above 414, it's very much possible we head back towards 450. But if we can't get above 450 and actually hold on Tesla, then I imagine we're going to head back towards 414, especially if we're talking about the SPY and triple Qs retesting the 21 MA sometime soon. So that's what we're looking at for Tesla. Next stock I'm looking at is AMD. I think AMD is just, I mean, this thing is absolutely insane. So I did tell you guys in one video that I would expect AMD to head towards this retest level of 188. I mean, it pretty much said screw that, right? It said hold my beer. It told me to hold this beer, and bulls just stepped in and pumped it back towards the upside. I mean, this candle, you couldn't even argue with this, right? Anybody who sees this candle would immediately think bearish, right? But hey, the market's going to do what the market does. Every day we get AI news, open AI news, all this stuff. So, I mean, it's no surprises there. So, as far as AMD goes, at this point, I do believe you're going to see a move towards 250 being the lowest target. And like I said in that particular video, when you're looking at the weekly time frame, you have this massive inverse head and shoulders pattern, guys. Shoulder here, head here, shoulder here. Your measured projected move for this is like 380. I don't know if we're going to head to 380. Okay, I'm just letting you guys know the projected move is 380. And obviously, we're not just going to head straight there. Okay, we're probably going to see dips along the way. I would love to see a retest of this head and shoulders neckline, this inverse head and shoulders neckline at around 188, 185 range. But I mean, until that happens, I mean, I guess AMD is just going to keep pumping, especially when you're looking at the daily time frame and you stop these guys out of their position. The moment these guys got stopped out of their position, these bears right here, oh, this thing's probably going to squeeze to like 280 being the top as far as intermediate to long term, right? Long term, we're looking at 300s. But when you're talking about intermediate, short term, I mean, you stop these guys out of position, 250, 280, easy, okay? These guys panic. These guys are gone, all right? I imagine these guys are absolutely devastated, okay? So something to think about, something to look at when it comes to AMD. 250 is my first target. Highest I'm looking at least for now, is about 280 when it comes to AMD. Amazon. So Amazon, Beautiful play for us in the Discord when it comes to Amazon. Nice triple bottom here. It took forever to trade this thing. I'm probably never going to trade this again. I'm just going to stick to my shares and be happy with it because it took forever. I mean, look at this. This took weeks. I think one of my mods said this was like 67 days or something like that. So, I mean, this took forever to play out. So, congratulations, Discord members, on this. But as far as Amazon goes, when you're talking about this triple bottom, the projected measured move, guys, is 240. All right, 240. So, that's what I'm looking at when it comes to Amazon. Your key level here is 226.7. You break above 226.7, you're heading towards 228.75. You get above 228.75, we'll just say 229, you're heading towards 232. It's a lot of turbulence in this area, as you guys can see. So Amazon, it's annoying. Okay, it is annoying. I've even had a few Discord members just complain about this thing, like, oh my gosh, this thing is so annoying to trade. So I understand completely, but you broke the neckline of the triple bottom at around 224. From here, I do believe Amazon can see more upside. It's just a matter of breaking above those key levels. So we'll see. All right, we will see when it comes to Amazon. Eli Lilly, I mean, the best thing I could say with Eli Lilly is that Trump just needs to get his hands off pharmaceuticals. Okay, that's pretty much the reason why a lot of pharma stocks are just not pumping, because of tariffs. So right now, and that probably can change. I don't know. I'm not keeping up with every bit of news that Trump lets out, because the majority of what he says is just nothing burgers. So for now, I mean, again, like I said, Eli Lilly, worst case scenario, you just retest 825 and then you finally get that move towards 900. I still believe Eli Lilly is going to head towards 900. It's just a matter of when, guys. All right, it's just a matter of when. Maybe I'm too early, but for now, I believe at minimum you're going to see a move towards 880. Highest I'm looking at is 903. So if you want to trade Eli Lilly, I would say just add time to it. Your best bet here is to wait for that retest of 820. What was it? 825. I'm not guaranteeing that retest is going to happen soon, given the type of market that we're in, but it's very much possible you retest 825, maybe 833, bounce off 833, and then you head back towards 903. But ultimately, I'm pretty confident that Eli Lilly is going to see a move towards 903. It's just a matter of, again, it's just a matter of when, guys. All right, AVGO. So right now, I think AVGO is going to pump. A lot of stocks look like they want to pump, and a lot of stocks look like they want to dump. So tomorrow is going to be weird. Okay, it's going to be weird. At least for the rest of this week, I do believe it's going to be a little weird. So just be careful. You're probably going to see some names dump. You're probably going to see some names pump. So just trade what you see. Okay, trade what you see as long as your strategy is consistent. So when it comes to AVGO, I think AVGO is trying to head towards 360. All right, 360 is my target. You got this double bottom here when it comes to AVGO. You haven't really broken the neckline. You kind of broke it, but you didn't break it because of this wick right here, this one random wick right here. So what we want to see is AVGO get above 348. We'll just say 350, and then from there you're heading towards 360. So that's what I'm looking at for AVGO. And that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't really see a bearish sign when it comes to this thing. I mean, if it gets back below 340, we'll just say 339, then, you might want to get out of there. But worst case scenario, if you're really interested in AVGO, it just retest 336 and then bounce from there. As you guys can see, there's a lot of support here at around 336. You got the 21 MA, you got this trend line here, you got support here as well. So you got a lot of bulls in this area as well. So if AVGO just so happens to give you an opportunity to get in at 336, do your own due diligence, do your own research. It's very much possible that AVGO pumps back towards the upside from there. So that's what I'm looking at for AVGO. ARM, again, congratulations, Discord members, on this play. Absolutely crushed this play. There's a lot of order flow coming in for ARM when it comes to the 180 strike. I also saw a lot of order flow come in for 200 strike as well for October 24th. For some reason they disappeared, so I just assumed that maybe Wells got out of it, or maybe it was just a glitch on the order flow. I don't know, but it ended up playing out regardless. So 167 was my short-term target. Can ARM head higher than that? Sure, but there's a lot of resistance here. So I imagine in order for ARM to just continue towards the upside, I wouldn't be surprised it heads towards 170, but in order for ARM to head further towards the upside, it's probably going to need news, right? You had a rejection here, and then so far you're rejecting that 167 target here. So very much possible ARM continues towards the upside. It's just a matter of if it's going to get news or when it's going to happen. Okay, so ARM, beautiful play here. Don't really have much. If it can get above 167 and actually hold, 170 is your next target. Highest I'm looking at is where these guys are right here at 180. Okay, 180. All right, so that's what we're looking at for ARM. APP. So 629 is your key level. today in the Discord we saw order flow come in for 650 calls for October 10th, I believe. So when it comes to APP, my target, as long, like I've been saying in the Discord, as long as APP holds 609, and I know we're far off from that target, but that's like the most pivotal level. All right, that's the strongest level. As long as it stays above 609, I believe APP is going to head towards 672, 674, one of those targets. All right, 672, 674, somewhere around here. There's a fair value gap around here. As long as it stays above 609, I think it's heading towards 674. Now, is it going to head there by this Friday? I don't know. Okay, I would add time to a play like that, but if you want to take the safest route, the most safe route, I would say wait for that 609 retest. It may not happen. All right, I'm not promising it's going to happen, guys. I'm just saying that's the best case scenario for you. Now, another scenario you could do is wait for 629 to hold. All right, I think it closed. Yeah, it actually closed above 629 after hours, so very much possible that APP, I want to call it AVGO, can head towards 674 from here. 674, 672. That's probably the lowest target I have. 700 is a little bit much for me to see right now, but I mean, I guess it's possible. So that's what I'm looking at for APP, and I think that's it. All right, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, Nvidia is just still doing what Nvidia does, guys. Like I said, as long as Nvidia holds 184, I think you're fine. I still have a price target of 230 when it comes to Nvidia. It's just a matter of when. All right, me personally, Nvidia is just boring to trade in my opinion. So I don't know. You guys do what you want with this thing, but 230 is still my target. I don't know when it's going to happen. We may get a dip prior to that. I would look for a dip towards that 182 level right here at around the 21 MA before considering those 200 strike calls. And maybe it happens right away. I don't know. But for now, I don't have really much for Nvidia. It just needs to get above 190. Okay, it really needs to get above 190. And I mean, even once you get above 190, I mean, you still have a little bit more turbulence here at around 191. So that's what I'll be looking at for Nvidia. Other than that, that's really all I have. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you again. Thank you for all the support. I'm trying to get back into the rhythm of making more videos. I can't promise anything because I'm kind of enjoying doing the 1 or 2 videos a week. It's kind of nice to do that, but I would try to update you guys as much as possible. I see a lot of you enjoy the videos. Of course, I still got the trolls. Of course, I still got the haters. It is what it is at the end of the day. I just assume they're not making any money. But at the end of the day, that's all I have, guys. Discord link will be in the description below. And until the next video, traders, have a good one.